Hi guys, welcome back to the BMW Guy channel, and today we'll be talking about common issues with the E8X Generation 1 series. So as you can see, this is a 2007, it's a 120D M Sport I've had for about 18 months now. It's got 98,500 miles. So I'm going to be talking from experience of some of the problems I've had, but also some of the common problems on these that you should look out for if you're buying one. So let's get started. I'm going to get the first one straight out of the way, which is possibly one of the most well documented issues, which is the N47 timing chain failure. So if your vehicle is a diesel from 2007 onwards, it is fitted with the N47 engine. Now these are prone to timing chain failure, which is caused by the BMW service intervals being far too long for the actual engine to cope with. So it causes accelerated wear, causes the timing chain to snap, and then eventually, well, that just results in a new engine. So that's sort of one thing you're going to be looking out for. Another issue, which is an issue I'm having with my car at the moment, is an ABS fault with various other bits, which is actually caused by the rear drive shafts in here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Sort of up in here, there sort of area. And what happens is the wheel speed sensors, well, essentially the wheels read the speed from what's something called a reluctor ring, which is a grooved ring on the end of the drive shaft. This spins and is obviously sensed by the wheel speed sensor. So what happens is the drive shafts corrode. This ring then swells and strikes the sensor, causing traction control to come on randomly, which makes the car pretty much undrivable, and then ABS faults, etc. So that's something to be careful of. Thirdly, even we have the fuel filler cap falling off constantly. This one I've had replaced, and I have a video about that. So that's something to bear in mind. It's not a major issue, but nevertheless, I will pop the bonnet to show you some more stuff. 2007 cars have a bit of a crap interior, as you can hear. Plenty of crunching. Oh, that's all wobbly, and that's another issue with these cars. Petrols, they suffer from coil pack issues, nitrogen sensors, etc. This engine is, apart from the major failures, is fairly decent. There are issues with turbos going, so that's something you want to make sure that's sort of been looked at, or at least well cared for. We also have issues with cooling, petrols especially. This can be issues on which just sort of any signs of that is increased temperatures, obviously, increased MPGs, that sort of thing. Petrols also have an issue with, and I think actually the diesels do, with exhaust heat shielding, which causes the fuel to evaporate whilst in the fuel lines, which again obviously means lower MPG. So if you're getting exceptionally low MPG, that's probably to do with it. On these diesels, again, we have issues with DPS particularly. So you want to be making sure that the car's been doing decent long journeys, that the DPS sorted, any engine warning lights, that could be that as well. Another issue on these diesels is the glow plug module failure, which essentially just means that the car struggles to start in cold temperatures, but this does eventually lead to obviously a DPF clog up, because of the fact it can't regenerate quick enough, or it can't regenerate at all because of the glow plugs. In terms of other issues, rust isn't an issue with these. They're fairly rust proof. Shock absorbers, any sort of front knocking in the suspension or anything like that on any sort of test drives or anything like that, that'll be your front shocks, especially if it's coming up to the upper end of the first 100,000 miles. That'll be that. I've had these done on here, but it still has a bit of a knock, but I'm not quite sure what that is. So yeah. Any other issues? Mirrors and stuff failing. Another issue to look at is to make sure that your rear wiper is working effectively, because actually these can block up. So when you spray, the water then gets stuck in here, destroys the motor, and that can actually cause a bit of corrosion within the boot lid itself. So that's something to bear in mind. There was a recall recently on these. I'm not sure, no, you're not going to be able to see, but under the boot floor here, obviously we've got the battery. There was a recall replacing a battery line, because it actually caused a couple of cars to have quite serious accidents when they just sort of died in the fast lane of motorways. So it's only happened on a handful of cars. As long as the cars had it sorted, it shouldn't be an issue. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So I know this sounds like a bit of a mad video where there's lots of issues, but really there isn't actually that many compared to what could happen on some cars. Just another thing to mention is that the exhaust can sometimes come loose. Mine actually is broken just off the manifold here on the downpipe. It's a common issue and it can be fixed by just having a clamp attached, so it's held still. And again, that should just reduce noise and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't let them put you off buying one of these cars, because really these issues are few and far between, and it's only unlucky if you ever get all of them at once. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to. Please support us below on the Patreon. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.